Who can turn the world on with her smile?
Hi, eBayers. Thank you for clicking on this video to see what in the world I am up to now. I had an idea for something fun that could help you sharpen your sourcing skills when you're out there in the wild picking things to sell. And this is in line with my channel going in a more vintage direction. So let me explain what this is. I don't watch that much TV as far as just sitting there watching it. I usually have something playing, whether it's a movie or an old TV show or a series, and I'm listening to it when I'm doing other things. One thing I find myself doing ever since I started selling on eBay is paying attention to the objects in the background or on the set. And I have noticed that I'll see something that somebody just posted on Money Making Mondays, or I sold that item a year ago, or I sold that exact dress or piece of clothing that somebody is wearing. So it's something I do anyway. And I thought, wouldn't that be a fun game for my audience to let you guys play too, as a way to practice and learn new things at the same time, as well as enjoying the nostalgia of older TV shows, movies, music videos, and commercials. So you all can practice and sharpen your skills just by watching these videos and maybe learn new things. So we're going to examine vintage clips from these shows and just have some fun with it. So be forewarned, each video will start with the theme song that goes with the TV show or movie, because music is so nostalgic, and that will get you in the mood to pay attention and see what you can see in the background. We are going to start with probably the most iconic apartment of the 1970s, Mary Richards.
Who can turn the world on with her smile? Who can take a nothing day and suddenly make it all seem worthwhile? Well, it's you, girl, and you should know it. With each glance and every little movement you show it. Love is all around, no need to waste it. You can have the town, why don't you take it? You're gonna make it after all. You're gonna make it after all.
In this first clip, Phyllis and Mary are just having a discussion, but pay attention to the background.
And I know how beautiful it can be if you look at it realistically. I mean, realistically. Face the fact that it means a certain amount of sacrifice.
Did you notice the vintage hi-fi or stereo and speakers in the background? This is one that shows up on Money Making Mondays all the time. And these can sell for between $500 and $700, depending on, of course, the brand, the condition, how many pieces are with it. All of those factors are going to determine the price, but that's one that we have definitely seen. This next clip is when Mr. Grant comes over to Mary's apartment and he's missing his wife and he wants to send her a letter. So take a look and let's see what is in the background.
I'm gonna be away for a whole month.
Now I know why you're here. Oh, yes, Miss Associate Producer. He said he'd find something for you to do. Certainly didn't get the
You know, you got a great caboose.
There it is. You got the job because of your great caboose.
But not as great as my wife's. She's got the greatest caboose ever. She left today. She's going to be away for a whole month, and I miss her already. I miss her so much. I am going to write her a letter.
Okay, there are actually two items I'm going to talk about in the background of this clip. The first one, the most obvious, is the white Olivetti typewriter on the table. I think it's an Olivetti because of the shape. It doesn't look like a Royal or Smith Corona. And these are a little bit tricky to ship, but they can sell for up to $200. So this is one that you want to be on the lookout for when you are picking in the wild. Another item that I noticed is the cast iron register cover. Those have showed up on Money Making Mondays and can sell for between $100 and $300, just depending on how intricate the design is, how old it is, if there's any markings on it. That shocks some people that an old vent cover could sell for that much money, but the proof is on eBay. So keep your eyes out for that, especially at estate sales where they sell everything. The next clip is when Mary has a date over to her apartment and she's serving coffee. As a matter of fact, she's serving coffee in a lot of scenes of this show, but pay attention to what she's serving the coffee with.
Shall we have coffee inside?
Inside?
Yeah, well, you see, in a one-room apartment, we call this area the inside.
Yeah. Oh, that must be the outside.
No, that's the dining room. Cream and sugar?
Yeah. No, thanks. No, I'll take it without.
That type of coffee pot is called a Chemex, and they were very popular back in the 60s and 70s, but then electric coffee makers came along like the Mr. Coffee, and they sort of got phased out a little bit. But now they're back, and it's a very trendy way to serve coffee. You basically put a filter over the top, put your coffee grounds in, and then pour the water over it, and then the coffee steeps right there in the Pyrex type glass. So that is a trendy thing now. And these can sell for around $75 or higher, depending on if it's vintage or not. So again, it's called the Chemex coffee maker. In the next scene, Mary and Rhoda are getting ready to entertain. So see what you can find in the background of this clip.
Boy, I wish they'd get here. No, I don't. I just wish it were over. You're nervous over nothing, man. And I don't see what your big gripe is about Howard. I mean, so he likes you. No, Rhoda, he doesn't like me. He likes me. All that love just rushing at you. That, as my grandmother used to say, should be the worst thing that should happen to you. Oh, get that stuff away from me. I'm fainting from hunger. Rhoda, it isn't going to...
The first thing I noticed was the green ice bucket with the gold knob on the bar counter. I've actually sold those before, and they sell for between $35 and $50, depending on the material, the brand, how old they are. But vintage barware is quite profitable. So that's something that you might want to look into if you're not looking at those types of items. Another item in that scene is Mary's skirt, the vintage quilted patchwork maxi skirt. And those are making a comeback, especially if they are vintage. I mean, that skirt is just iconic. But if you find something like that in a thrift store, those can sell for $75 and up. It just depends on what it is, even if they're handmade, because that patchwork detail takes a lot of work and a lot of time. But that is an iconic scene right there with Mary wearing that crazy looking skirt. And people will pay up for things like that. And the last clip we're going to go over in this video is of Mary and Rhoda's mom in Mary's apartment. Pay attention to what they're wearing.
I'm just having a little snack. Oh, gee, I wish you'd let me fix you something to have for dinner. Oh, no, I never eat. I just nibble. Well, if you're still hungry, there's half a chicken in the refrigerator. Not anymore. That's what I nibble. Mrs. Morgenstern, you take the bed. I just changed the sheets this morning. Oh, where are you going to sleep? Right here. Just push the two chairs together. Makes a pretty good bed. Oh, no. I can't let you do that. Yes, no. I'll be perfectly comfortable. No, really. I'm putting you out. I'm going to spend the night in a motel. Do you think they'll let me in without a car?
Okay, that was pretty obvious, but Mary is wearing the quilted bathrobe with the embroidered detail. Those can sell for up to $200. It just depends on the brand. I remember my sisters and I wearing those types of robes. We have old pictures from Christmas morning and old home videos where we are wearing that exact thing. So that is so 70s. So if you're not looking at the sleepwear, you could find something like that in there, and that would be an amazing flip at around $150 to $200. Also, we see Ida Morgenstern wearing a chenille robe, the fuzzy, furry robe like the bedspreads, and the detail on both the collar and the hemline. The chenille robes also can sell for over $200. So again, if you're not checking out the sleepwear, there's all kinds of hidden gems in there. But both of those styles of robes are just iconic 70s, and people want a piece of history. They're nostalgic. Maybe they had this item as a child or young adult, and they want that nostalgic feeling of having that item again. So remember that an item is only worth what someone will pay for it. And they may pay a lot more than you would. It's all about what it means to the buyer of the item, or maybe they're giving it to someone else as a gift. Okay, that wraps up the Mary Tyler Moore edition of Vintage iSpy. I hope you thought this was fun. Let me know in the comments. Did you like it? Did you hate it? There are so many sets that have vintage items in them that we can practice on. I have lots of ideas for this. So let me know what you think. And as always, have a profitable and productive day on eBay. I got to get back to watching my shows now. Bye.